There is something that has been placed on my heart to share with you. And I need you to know this from the very beginning. You did not arrive at these words randomly. This is not a coincidence, not a moment of idle scrolling that just happened to land here. Long before this moment, before today, before this hour, your name was already known, already spoken, already remembered. Somewhere beyond time, beyond noise, beyond all the chaos of your days, a quiet decision was made to draw you here, to this exact message at this exact moment. You almost kept going, didn't you? You felt the pull to scroll past, to move on to something lighter, something easier, something that wouldn't ask anything of you. A part of you wondered if it was worth stopping for one more voice in a world that never stops talking. And yet you stayed. You paused. You are still here. And that matters more than you understand right now. Let me tell you something gently. I'm not here to judge you. Never to judge. What I want to share comes from recognition, from familiarity, from having walked through my own long nights and quiet breakdowns. When I look at your life right now, I don't see failure. I don't see weakness. I see exhaustion. I see someone carrying far more than they ever show. I see you in the early hours of the morning before the world wakes up. I see you sitting alone, holding a cup that's gone cold, staring ahead but not really seeing anything. I see the weight pressing against your chest, the kind of weight you can't explain to anyone because it isn't just one thing. It's everything. The bills that never seem to shrink. The silence where laughter and conversation used to live. The dreams you stopped mentioning because saying them out loud makes the distance between where you are and where you hope to be feel unbearable. I see you late at night too. Those hours when sleep refuses to come and your mind becomes your harshest enemy. The replaying of mistakes. The moments you wish you could redo. The choices that haunt you. The opportunities you think you missed forever. I see the mental calculations you run again and again trying to make numbers work that simply won't. I see the phone calls you avoid. The messages you leave unopened because you don't have the strength to face what they might demand from you. And I see the mask you wear. The practice smile. The automatic, "I'm fine," delivered so convincingly that no one questions it anymore. I see how carefully you hide the cracks because somewhere deep inside, you fear that if anyone truly saw how fragile things feel, they might leave too. But here is what I need you to know. This is the truth I had to walk through darkness to discover. You are seen. Fully. Completely. Not by distant or indifferent eyes, but by a presence that has noticed every tear you wiped away in private, every night you lay awake staring at the ceiling, every moment you thought you were utterly alone. If something inside you recognizes these words, if they touch a place you haven't had language for, would you take a moment and write, "I hear this," in the comments? Not for me. Not for visibility. But because there is power in naming truth. There is strength in admitting, even quietly, yes, this is where I am. Yes, I need something to shift. Let me share something personal with you. 3 years ago, I was sitting exactly where you might be sitting right now. Everything felt like it was falling apart at once. My marriage was unraveling. The business I had poured everything into collapsed. One night, I opened a letter from the bank and my hands shook so badly I could barely read it. I remember sitting in my car in a grocery store parking lot, unable to go inside because I knew I couldn't afford what my family needed. I remember the shame of that moment, the heat of it, the suffocating sense that I had failed at the most basic responsibility of caring for the people I loved. And in that dark car, I whispered a prayer. Not a polished one, not a confident one. It was raw. It was desperate. It was barely faith at all. I said, "If you are real, if you see me, I need you to show up now, because I have nothing left." There was no thunder, no lightning, no dramatic sign, but something happened. A warmth began in my chest and slowly spread through my body. Not answers, not solutions, just a presence. and a quiet assurance that said, "You are going to be okay." Not because everything would instantly fix itself, but because I wasn't alone anymore. That moment wasn't the end of my struggle. It was the beginning of my awareness. I realized the voice I had been waiting for had been speaking all along, in the silence I had mistaken for abandonment. I'm telling you this because I am not speaking from theory or comfort or distance. I am speaking from the trenches, from the nights when faith and desperation blur into one. And from that place I can tell you this with certainty. The struggle you are in right now is not the end of your story. It isn't even the middle. It is the chapter before the breakthrough, the season before the harvest, the night before a dawn that is already being prepared. You have been praying for change. I know you have. In the car, in the shower, in the quiet moments when you let your guard down. And maybe you've started wondering if anyone is listening. Maybe it feels like your prayers rise up and disappear into nothing. But what if I told you this? Every prayer you've whispered has been heard, not ignored, not dismissed, heard, witnessed, held. What if the delay you're experiencing isn't rejection but preparation? Not absence but a sacred pause, making room for something far greater than what you've been asking for? I know that's hard to believe when you're tired, when hope feels heavy, when waiting feels cruel. But I've learned something that changed everything for me. Divine timing rarely matches our expectations, but it is never careless. If something is stirring in your heart right now, if you feel that quiet inner yes, would you write, "I am ready"? That simple declaration matters. It's you loosening your grip. It's you saying, "I don't need to control how this happens anymore." Because while you've been struggling in what you can see, something has been moving where you cannot. Provision has been prepared. Hearts have been softened. Healing has been set in motion. And this is not symbolism. It is real, tangible, about to intersect with your life in ways that will feel unmistakable. There is a space between promise and manifestation. The space is sacred, and it's where most people give up. Nothing looks different yet. The numbers haven't changed. The relationship still feels distant. And doubt whispers, "See? Nothing happened." But don't trust appearances in the gap. In the unseen, doors are already unlocked. What was released is already on its way. Your role right now isn't to understand, it's to remain open. I stayed in my own gap for 6 months. 6 months where nothing changed on the outside and everything changed within. And then, on an ordinary Tuesday, everything shifted. An email, a conversation, a provision that made no logical sense. And suddenly momentum took over. That same shift is available to you now. But you must choose to believe before you see. Would you take one small step of agreement? Not because of algorithms, but because intention matters. Because participation matters. Now let me speak to your specific pain because I know it's real. If your struggle is financial, hear this clearly. Your worth is not defined by your bank account. The lack you're experiencing is not a reflection of your value. You are approaching a provision that will come from directions you never expected, within this very season. Watch for it. Expect it. Thank heaven in advance. And if your pain is relational, the distance, the loss, the silence, I see that too. Perhaps the ache you carry lives inside your family. What was once simple has become complicated. Conversations that used to flow now feel heavy. Words have been spoken that cannot be taken back. Silences have formed where laughter once lived. And you don't even know where to begin repairing what feels broken. If that is where your pain rests, listen carefully to what I am about to say. You were not created to wander forever in a relational wilderness. This season of distance is not your final destination. What looks lifeless is not gone. What feels too damaged to fix is already being touched by hands far more gentle, far more wise, than your own. Restoration is on its way, Not because you managed to do everything right, not because you earned another chance, but because love is stronger than damage, and grace specializes in reviving what we believed was beyond saving. There will be conversations you never thought you would hear. Moments of connection where there has only been tension. You will witness hearts soften that you were convinced had hardened permanently. And when that happens, you will remember this moment. You will remember that hope found you before the change appeared. Maybe your struggle is physical. Your body feels unfamiliar now. The diagnosis sits heavily in your thoughts, following you through every quiet moment. Symptoms whisper fear into ordinary days. Treatments exhaust you. And the uncertainty weighs even more than the pain itself. If this is your battle, hear this clearly. Your healing is not a wish. It is already secured at a level deeper than what you can see. Your body is not finished. Your cells are responding. Strength is being restored. Wholeness is being remembered. This is not a call to abandon medical wisdom or refuse treatment. This is an invitation to recognize that healing operates on more than one level. Medicine and miracle are not enemies. They work together. And there are moments when restoration arrives in ways that science can only describe as unexplainable, because heaven touched something beyond charts and data. Or maybe your pain is quieter, harder to explain. A lack of direction. A sense of drifting. It feels like everyone else received a map and you were left wandering in fog. You've tried different paths, different pursuits, different versions of yourself, but nothing has felt like home. And underneath it all is a nagging fear that maybe you don't have a purpose at all. If that thought has haunted you, let me tell you this: your purpose was never lost. It has been waiting, growing, preparing. Every detour you've taken, every failure you've survived, every season that felt wasted has been shaping something inside you that the easy path never could. You are being prepared for an assignment designed specifically around your combination of gifts, wounds, experiences, and compassion. And very soon the fog will lift. The path will come into focus. You will step forward with a clarity you have never known. Take a moment now and name what needs breakthrough in your life. Be specific. Write it. Speak it. Not because anyone needs to read it, but because clarity carries power. Vague faith produces vague results. But specific faith opens the door for specific change. Whether it's finances, health, relationships, or purpose, name it. When you bring your need into the light, something activates. As you do that, let me tell you what I see unfolding for you. I see doors opening, not ones you have to beg to enter, not ones you force with effort, but doors that open because the lock has already been turned. I see provision arriving, not just enough to survive, but enough to breathe, enough to give, enough to finally step out of survival mode and into a life that feels sustainable. I see relationships healing, long silences broken, words spoken that dissolve years of distance, forgiveness flowing freely where resentment once stood like a wall. I see your body responding to a frequency of wellness beyond diagnosis, strength returning, pain loosening its grip, life moving again through places that felt numb. I see purpose becoming clear, the fog lifting, a path emerging that feels strangely familiar, like returning to yourself after a long journey away. But more than any external shift, I see something deeper happening. I see you realizing you were never alone. Every sleepless night, someone was present. Every tear, collected. Every moment you felt abandoned, you were being held by a love so patient, so relentless, so determined to reach you that it arranged this moment right now. That realization is the true breakthrough. Circumstances will change, and they will, but this awakening changes everything. You are loved without conditions. Not scored, not measured, not revoked. A love that does not grow tired of your struggles or disappointed in your weakness. And if that sounds too simple, too generous, too good to be real, it's only because you've been taught that love must be earned. That worth must be proven. That acceptance is conditional. But grace does not operate that way. You don't qualify for it. You receive it. Every morning it is new. Every moment it is available. Waiting not for effort but for openness. Let me tell you about someone I'll call Sarah. 6 months ago, she watched this message 3 days before losing her home. The eviction notice was posted. Savings were gone. Credit cards maxed out. Family support exhausted. She had no options left. She typed in the comments, "I need a financial miracle within 72 hours, then closed her laptop feeling foolish. 2 days later, she received a call. A legal settlement from an accident 7 years earlier, one she had completely forgotten about. The amount covered exactly what she needed, with money left over. I'm not sharing this to promise identical outcomes. I'm sharing it because miracles are not myths. Or consider Michael. His marriage had been frozen for 2 years. Separate rooms. Divorce papers prepared. No intimacy. No connection. After encountering this message, he didn't try to change his wife. He changed his posture. He softened. He opened himself to the possibility that what seemed dead could live again. 3 weeks later, she asked to talk. Really talk. Truth replaced accusation. Vulnerability replaced defense. 6 months later, they renewed their vows. These are not exceptions. They are examples. You might be feeling both hope and skepticism right now. That's okay. You don't need perfect faith, only willingness. Before you leave, share this with one person. Just one. Someone quietly struggling. When you do, you move from receiving hope to carrying it, and that multiplies what you hold. In the coming days, pay attention. Small confirmations. Subtle alignments. Moments that feel too precise to dismiss. Document them. And somewhere within the next 30 days, something unmistakable will happen. You will know it wasn't coincidence. You will know you were seen. When it happens, come back. Tell the story. Because someone else will be sitting where you once were, waiting for proof that breakthrough is real.